Welcome to Vision Minds Media very own podcast, your go-to space when it comes to meaningful conversations. So here we explore everything, from everyday challenges to life's biggest questions, all through the lens of our Christian values and faith. Thank you for tuning in. So today I'm your host Priscilla, and I'm joined by some wonderful, insightful, intelligent guests. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I'm Da Costa.
I'm Vanessa. Today, on the other side of the spectrum.
I'm Sonny.
All right, so thank you. Today, we are going to talk about the phase before marriage, the phase where we enter into a relationship, get to know a potential life partner. Okay, so some call it talking stage, some call it hanging out, some call it seeing someone, some refer to it as courtship, some refer to it as dating, you name them. Okay, but today we are going to focus on the latter terms, so that means on dating and courtship. So before we dive into it, we are going to play a little game. Yeah, I'm going to present a couple of scenarios to you, and you will have to decide whether these scenarios are a typical example for an approach of dating or courtship. Okay? All right. Then let's start. The first one, we are intentional about our relationship and have openly discussed long-term goals and expectations. What do you think?
Bill.
Brasam is also thinking.
Yeah.
So, what did you choose?
Yeah, I choose dating.
Dating, Vanessa?
Courtship.
And?
Courtship?
Courtship. Okay, all right. The second one. So, there is no explanation needed, okay? The second one, we are still figuring out if we are compatible. So, we are keeping things lighthearted and not overthinking the future. So, Vanessa's very quick when it comes to the taking decisions. So, Brother Costa?
Yeah, dating.
Dating. Okay. Yeah. The third one, we pray together and talk about faith, but we also make sure we have fun and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that again?
So, we pray together and talk about faith. Okay. But we also make sure we have fun and enjoy each other's company.
Oh, okay.
All right. Then, the fourth one. Our families and mentors are aware of our relationship and we occasionally seek their advice, but we make our own decisions.
Yeah, I think courtship.
And the last one. From the beginning, we set certain boundaries to keep our relationship focused on honoring God.
It's a bit dicey.
Did I not understand it wrong? Because I didn't really.
Yeah, I should have repeated, don't worry.
Please.
So from the beginning, we set certain boundaries
So.
to keep our relationship focused on honoring God. So which one did you choose?
Yeah, I choose courtship.
I chose
Okay,
courtship.
so you agree on
dating.
this one. Sorry? Dating.
Dating.
All right, so having these scenarios in mind, what would you say? How can courtship be defined? How can dating be defined? You just go ahead if you have
So,
an idea.
I personally think that courtship is more of an intentional approach on relationships. When it comes to the future plans, also involving the parents in being more faith-based, because dating, in my opinion, is more of let's just see where we can go, let's just get to know each other and see what happens, let's just chill, let's just enjoy our company. But courtship is when you want it to lead to marriage as well. So you're being very intentional and you're putting Christ at the center.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do the men say? What do you think?
Okay, I think that courtship is the last thing before a guy, proposes to the lady. That's the proposal not to date but proposal to marriage. And so in at that stage you have passed all the talking stage, getting to know each other stage, like I mean all of that long communication stuff, like that goes on in meeting someone. You are past all of those, and so at that point you are at the point where you are actually like you are intentional about settling with the person. Yeah, that's what I think courtship is.
Yeah, okay, so for me, dating is you getting to know the person. So at that stage, you guys get to discuss various, aspect of your lives, whether it has to do with finances, whether it has to do with your goals that you want to achieve, your values, to know as to whether you guys share the same common vision or goals or values that will make you guys compatible. You get me? So I would say with courtship, it has to do with it. I would say it's an extension of dating. So with courtship, you guys are very intentional that you've made a decision that you want to get married. You guys want to get married one day, and there are other parties involved that are aware of that you guys want to really want to move to marriage. So I think prior to marriage, courtship precedes that. So you have dating, you court, then afterwards marriage becomes a reality.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Don't you think that it's also possible to see if you're compatible with someone when you're friends with them?
Oh, we will come back to that one.
Okay.
We'll come back to that one. But before, when actually preparing for this episode, right, I looked up some definitions and they actually align with your ideas. Okay, so they say when it comes to courtship, it refers to a more intentional approach, okay, with the ultimate goal of marriage in mind. But then when it comes to dating, it's more of a casual approach. Okay, so you actually, check how the vibe is going. You don't even know where the journey takes you, but you just see and explore. Okay, so getting back to the scenarios, can you think of any scenarios where you would say that maybe dating is a good deal or courtship is a good deal? Can you think of any situation?
Dating is a good deal.
Yeah, or beneficial, exactly.
Yeah.
When is courtship maybe beneficial or the good deal? The one to be in, and when is dating the one you should be in order to really get to know the person?
I think it needs to be established right from dating. Dating, you have general talks on everything, where you guys need to, as I mentioned, you need to talk on so many things, whether spirituality, what you want to achieve, your goals, career-wise, how you need to bring up let's say one day you guys get to marry, how does he upbringing of children, how is he going to handle those things? So many components goes into dating. So we need to establish as to whether we are on the same page, then we can make progress. Though you guys may click to some extent, but maybe you may share different views that may be an issue going forward. So once you guys are able to establish all these things and know that it's really going to work for you guys, then maybe you can schedule, let's say you can move into courtship that you want to legitimate things.
Alright, we'll come back to that one. So you say there might, like a shift might occur. So maybe you will start off dating and then eventually, gradually, it will actually become a court. You will be courted,
Yes.
and then that one will lead to marriage.
Yes, you guys can be. There are situations where you guys can be dating and you realize that no, this one may not fit. We may have different visions. Yeah, so that appears to be more conflicting. So we may be fine, but there are certain critical views that maybe are deciding factor for us. That if we have conflicting views, it may affect the relationship go forward. So right at the point of dating, we need to make clarifications to all these things. Then so dating may be like, let's say you conducting a due diligence, I would say. So you want to know the ins and outs of the person. You want to really get to know the person. Though you can't know everything, but as the time goes on, you keep up with the friendship. Certain things get exposed. I get to know that this may be fit for me or this may not be fit for me. Yeah.
But so you can't do that within courting, within a courtship, the approach of courtship. So if I understand you correctly, that means you start dating and then you court the person. If you say, okay, we're on the same page when it comes to certain values.
Yeah. yeah, before you get to court the person, because you can't just wake up because you click
Court
on
the
this
person.
and begin to say you want to get married to the person one day,
Okay.
you know, but you need to get to know the person.
All right.
Yeah,
So you start more recreational,
yeah.
casual approach.
Yeah.
Okay, let me chip in into this. Okay, so I think that.
Skip you, sorry.
Oh,
You mean the
sorry.
next?
It's okay.
Yeah, what's okay? Okay, ladies first. So you go first.
No,
Nah,
I'm
ladies
really troubled in a way with what
Okay.
Acosta said.
Okay, please.
Because in my opinion, I think it's very much possible to start with the courting because
Yeah.
you can get to know
Right
someone.
away.
That's what I wanted to say, but I think that you can get to know someone when you're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you do not. I think the title of dating, like boyfriend girlfriend, is this pressure that it brings with it, and I just think it's better to be friends first, and then you can get to know the person, and then make your decision and be intentional in courtship. It will save you a lot of drama and stress, and yeah.
Yeah, but then I think per your submission, meaning dating has already been established.
We're friends.
No, I
Yeah,
get
we're
what
friends.
she is trying to say. Like, you know,
So you guys are
when you meet
friends.
yourself,
Uh-huh.
like when
Yeah.
when like the main or the core purpose of the dating is to get to know each other, and you've already established that in the friendship. Like you already, I mean, that getting to know that
Okay.
lady or that guy has already been established in being friends with her or him.
Yes.
But then I may agree to disagree in that, you know, when you are friends with someone, being a friend with someone is different from actually being in a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Because when you are friends with someone, there are some commitments that you can't demand from the person. For instance, if I'm your best friend or I'm your friend, I mean, we've been friends for a very long time, we know each other, we hang, we play, do everything. But I mean, if you don't call me for like 2 days, I mean, that's normal.
Yeah.
Because in friendship, I'm not obliged to like
No, but
text you every
We're-
night or
we're-
call you. I mean, like, you know, those kind of like commitments in
Yeah.
relationship.
Mm.
But the moment it switches up from being friendship to dating
There's a
or
shift,
relationship,
yeah.
that shift alone cause, oh, okay, now there are some things that I should be doing. Even though he's my friend, she's my friend, but now it's more has evolved into like a matter of like their hearts. That's like
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Emotions are connected.
get out. That's
Yeah.
good. So now there are more attached emotions that when the other party is let's say not treated right could lead to like a pain in the heart or like a heartbreak or something. But then with friendship, I mean, in as much as we know each other, I mean, I can offend you in a way, but then though you might be hurt, but I mean, you just think of, I mean, what?
yeah, that's the point.
At
But
all,
then
like-
one
but
question,
yes,
No,
Vanessa.
I agree to
Well,
you building a
what-
friendship.
that's what
Yes.
friendship
But
is
one
better.
question, but then of course, I think even when you end up marrying, right, you should be good friends.
Exactly.
Like your partner should
Yeah.
be your best
Of
friend.
course, of course,
But
of
then
course.
one question.
Mhm.
So that means you would recommend to start away
with
courting
friendship,
with a courtship.
and then you jump into courtship.
So that means would you? So both of you are aware that okay, we have become friends. We are friends, and we are courting. Or does it come afterwards? Do you term it afterwards?
You mean the courtship?
Exactly. Are you both aware of the fact that you are courting besides you being friends? Because sometimes maybe from my perspective we are friends, but then you see more in me or vice versa.
Yeah.
Then that should
Okay.
be communicated.
Okay, so it's communicated. Both of you are aware that we are courting, but we started off as friends.
Okay.
But I think the
Hold
friendship.
on, no, we are.
Yeah,
trying to-
I think so because you will start off as friends,
Mm-hmm.
and as Same said, when the person maybe doesn't text you back for 2 days or something, it's normal because it's a friend. But what I mean is, you guys are friends, but special
wait,
friends.
sorry
let's
to
say that
cut you.
both of you like each
How
other.
do you
Friends,
how do you
no,
qualify
both
the
of you
friendship?
like
How
each
do you
other.
qualify the friendship? I want to understand
What I mean by
do you
friendship,
mean by
yeah,
friend.
What
Because
how
there
do
are
you
friends
like-
that it can be just I know you. We connect just at the church. We connect just
Mhm.
at school.
We
then
just
that's
have
all.
fun.
We are friends.
Like,
When we
that's
have
not what I
friendship,
mean.
then
best
we
of
have-
friends, you mean?
we are friends
Yeah.
that we know
We share everything.
we share everything. We get to talk. We
Pains,
have open
fun,
discussions.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We get to call each other all the
Yeah.
time. So I think maybe that's where we need to understand where the friendship is.
Mhm.
So from her point also, to some extent, to I understand, because in
Yeah.
that space of friendship, you might have discussed so many things. You know the person's
Mhm.
in and out.
And then
So I think that's their understanding of friendship. That's why she's using to qualify
Yeah.
it, that you just need to move to courtship. So there's no point in dating, because I think that's already you already know the person already.
No,
So
because to me, I don't know whether it takes way too much time, because then you get to know the person, don't know anything about them. So you guys want to first build a proper proper friendship, and then go on courting, because sometimes. So you would take that time. I'd also advise people
Yes.
to take your time.
Take the
Don't
time,
rush
guys.
Yeah,
You need to know the person.
Exactly.
Take your time.
Mhm.
yeah.
Take your time.
I think they always say vindication is in the womb of time. So with time, things will come out. Once you guys are
Yeah.
friends, certain things get
Mhm.
exposed. They get to.
Definitely.
But one thing is, once you're friendship and relationship is, as my brother was saying, is different.
Like
Once you get into a relationship, you get to know the person really well,
Exactly.
and certain boundaries that are set when you are friends. Now you overcome those boundaries. Those boundaries are not there.
Yeah.
Come on, I can just wake up tell you that I love you and all those things.
Yeah.
But once we are friends, come on, how do I tell you that? You get me?
I mean,
Like,
you
so
still love your
very
friend,
short.
You still love,
In
but
a
come on.
different way.
How can I tell Vanessa?
Wait,
Let's say Vanessa
yeah,
is
but-
Vanessa, I love you. Come on.
That's-
No, but
that's
you
the
can just hold on. Like,
platonic friendship.
you just explained that version of friendship as a special friend,
Yeah.
and for someone to actually command that title, that means you actually have that that soft spot, like that kind of.
Yeah,
I mean,
you like the
yeah,
person.
that
you like each
soft,
other.
But
that
it's a
like
gap, that's
that,
all.
that likeness is already there.
Mhm.
And so, but then, even in as much as you like the person, or you have that soft spot for the person,
Mhm.
it has not graduated into relationship. And so, even when the
Okay.
person offends you, you can just let go easily without feeling, any hurt whatsoever.
Okay.
But that title, like that stage
Yeah.
called dating, or being in actually a relationship, because I feel like, okay, fine, I need to date you, okay, even though we start off as friends, but we need to get to that dating where we switch up the friendship into doing something
Yeah.
more of
Level
like
up
people
in
dating
friendship.
though.
Yeah.
But then dating to marry or just to date? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, I mean,
And
dating.
that's my problem. If you're just dating to date, that's what I have a
No,
problem
no.
with.
Dating, obviously, to
But
marry.
I think before you even propose to a lady, the lady would want to know as to whether one day you'd want to marry her or not. So
Yeah,
it's even established at that point, because
As-
you want to get to know the person. You guys, okay, let's see. Maybe I want to
Yeah,
one day
sure.
settle down with you, but let's get talking and see as to whether we are compatible,
But
as to
then-
whether we share that vision.
Actually, so that
common.
means you will start with dating.
Yeah,
Because
you
this
do.
is where
Uh-huh.
your idea you actually presented or you had when you were defining dating.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
more casual approach.
Yeah.
You just
yeah.
want to, so primarily you want to get to know the person.
Yeah, you want to get to know them. Even though you guys, there are times that you guys may be friends, really tight friends. Once you get into there are certain
Relationship,
dynamics
yeah.
that you experience that you be like, come on, I didn't know this about this.
Identify,
Yeah,
True.
when she's in love or when he's in love, how does he react? Some of the things he does, and you may not know. You
But
guys
even you don't know yourself. You actually, discover a lot of new things.
yes,
of
even
your
yeah,
own personality.
yeah.
True. Okay. So to put it in a nutshell, or to summarize, you would say you start off dating and then gradually.
Yeah, I mean,
Start-
I would start off as
I
friends.
don't know about her, but from me, I think that, I mean, you need to find your friend in the wife
Mhm.
than finding the wife in the friend.
Okay. Yeah.
And so-
sounds good though. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Okay.
start, like, you can just, I mean, meet up someone. You don't need that long time of being friends with someone. Like,
Mhm.
some people say, I'm studying the person.
Yeah.
You will be studying the person for 3 years, but maybe the person might even be looking elsewhere.
Yeah. True.
You get the point I'm making. And so, in as much as you have a point, I feel like it is very risky because you might lose the person. Do you get the point?
No, but
But
you're studying
studying
the
the person
person.
as in you guys are in a relationship or
no,
from
No,
the friendship.
as friends.
you don't
as
like
friends.
Friends
But
and you're studying the person.
No, but
yes, 'cause
Wow.
no. She
What
like
happened?
she
Or
categorized that person as a special. Like I'm using what she said. That
Okay.
special friend. So it's not any other friend. Like on your normal friend, not any normal friend that maybe like just he can have a normal.
A regular
yeah, it's
friend.
someone
Not
that
a regular,
you can
like a
maybe
special friend.
you are interested in, and you are seeing if maybe you can take it to another level with this person. If this person is compatible with you, if you
Okay.
guys will be able to end up together and marry.
Yeah, but you guys need to be at the same
Same
level
page.
of what
On
you
the
just
same
said.
page.
Because maybe the other party just sees you as that special friend,
Yeah.
and then you are also like looking to get out something out from that friendship. Like
But that's
am I
communication
making sense?
then.
Yes,
You have to
so-
communicate.
yes.
Yeah.
So you need to like I get your point. Like it is a
Yeah,
very
myself, I understand.
it's a
I
very
understand where she's
like
coming
good
from.
step to take,
Yeah.
but I feel like it is highly risky.
But I think in the context of even this, let's say Pentecost like this, there are situations where they already know themselves. They just move to courtship, and I understand from a point. They just move to
Sure.
courtship. I declare my intentions to you that
Yeah.
I want us to get married. We
Yeah.
talk to it. So normally it doesn't even keep long that much.
And I also
Yeah.
think the older you get, you feel this
Faster.
pressure. Yeah, so you
It gets
immediately
more processed.
move into courtship. I think
Okay.
because oftentimes I think
I-
the younger generation is
I
more
have a
like
question there, please.
dating and
I
then
have a
seeing
very
where it
important
goes,
question.
and then maybe we'll marry.
Ah, okay.
So,
I have
One
a
question,
question with what you just
Please.
said
Yes.
Yeah.
about that whole pressure when you're getting old, and so
Uh-huh.
you get. So does that mean that because you are getting old, and so you need to, and the pressure from family, friends, even your pastors from church are pressuring you, and so you just when you
You
meet
know
someone,
what?
you just need to jump into courtship without actually knowing the person.
some
No, no,
You
you
shouldn't.
shouldn't.
But some do.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Shouldn't.
That is.
Great.
I feel like
Great.
those marriages, most of them
Yeah.
don't last.
Oh no, sorry. Yes, and then they
Yeah,
end
yeah,
up
yeah.
actually
You
being
shouldn't.
married but single.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Right?
Ooh,
But sorry?
They end up married but actually they're single.
Yeah, you're single.
They married and single.
Yeah.
I don't get it. How?
You're
No,
married,
they
but
are
you're
married
living your
on
life as a
paper,
single person.
But emotionally you are single.
Yes, cause
Yeah.
good. I feel like it shouldn't be like a reason to court or be someone because of pressure or getting old or
No,
anything.
it's
I
not.
think
No.
with women it's come natural because they have a cycle where at let's say
Biological
40, yeah, they have
Bro,
biological
that is-
clock.
that is-
So
that is-
no,
that is-
I'm coming. Let me just make that. Let
Yeah.
me just make
I'm
my
listening, I'm
submission. So
listening.
they have
Yes,
this
please.
biological clock. So in their 20s, they're able to explore and all that. But once they reach their 30s, sometimes they know what they want. They are not interested in this sort of dating stuff. Like just for they are not interested in dramas, if I should
Yeah.
say. If you are serious about it, let's get married. If you know you are not serious about marriage, then I think you should stay somewhere. So I think, but it's more riskier because in that situations too, men can use that as an advantage. They come with the intention that they want to marry you, and at the end of the day, they will just have sex with you and just leave you somewhere. So it's just
But then-
women being at that point, let's say at that age 30 and upwards, or let's say even that late 20s, you should be very careful.
Yeah, but then what you just said, some will even marry you. They will marry you, but when you're in the marriage, the way that they will treat you, what they will do to you, then you will really see who they are. So
Yeah.
some will really come to you and be like, I will marry you, and they will really marry you. But then when you're in the marriage, and so that's why it's very important to pray.
They
Pray
show
about
their
the
true
person.
colours.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not going
but I
to.
think we're deviating a little bit. Let's go back to the topic. Again, looking at both approaches, courtship and dating. Which one can be found in the Bible? What do you think?
Courtship.
Yeah, for the Bible, for me, I think the Bible was, it's something that took place way ages, and
Hey.
I'm coming. Let me land.
It's a
So
book.
no, it's something that took place,
Mhm.
way ages before me.
So it's not
currently.
applicable today.
No, so yeah, I'm coming. So though the Bible space here, I would say courtship, but currently, the world has evolved. Things are not done as compared to it were done in the old days, but just that we take inspiration from the old days to live our life currently. So yeah, the Bible contests courtship, but in our world today, I think you need to, as we've said, build a friendship, date, court. Yeah, then the marriage comes into play.
I would
And
say
that's
that the Bible wouldn't, divide all of those stages in like before you get to marriage. And so whether it's courtship or dating, Bible don't actually, I don't see anywhere in the Bible where it says that the man and the woman should like be talking for some time and then get to know. No, it just say for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and came to his wife and they become one family. And so it just talks about the whole concept of marriage. But you cannot just wake up to a lady and say and just grab the lady's hand and take her to your father and mother.
Yeah,
Obviously there needs to be that, so the Bible only summarizes as to the end point of that journey, the meeting of the people, but it will not explain to you, talk with the person, how to even convince the lady to even like you. God will not say
convince,
I know where I'm from.
All right.
And I think
so.
Even okay. So even the Bible context, maybe I share another opinion to that, because in the Bible they started straight away. They declare their intentions to you. The marriage begins.
But
so just like let's say Isaac like this, he wants Rachel. Rahel or Rachel.
Rachel,
So once you declare intentions, the family, there's a meeting of minds, agreements, you marry. And even in our culture, those days, you can just you declare intentions to this parents that you are interested in the adult and want to. Once the lady agrees, you guys begin. So
but then
you don't even get to know each other or
also
something.
think in the past, people didn't really, or most of the people didn't marry for love. Okay, so it was not even important to get to know the person, whether they are compatible. It was just, for example, for the woman to gain that financial security.
But
so
I think it's not that bad, because
it's not that bad.
What is
if
not
you
bad,
get
sorry?
the marrying not for love.
They marry because of
Because
love.
It's true.
Because I think when you get all those things that you need as a woman, love will follow, kind of. So you should not base on your feelings alone, but
because
first of all,
deceitful.
Exactly. And your emotions might change when the person maybe does something to you that you don't like. Obviously, you will not have butterflies in your tummy. You will not feel like, I love this person right now. But love is a choice and it's an action. So you can learn to love someone, I would say.
I understand. But then
I feel like
even
that's
so,
another topic.
all right,
Because love debatable.
I think so.
It's
That
sure.
you
I mean,
can learn to learn.
But it happens.
There is no right or wrong,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
Yeah, of course.
I do understand. Okay, but even in the Bible, you are right. The Bible doesn't explicitly mention dating or courting. So it's not even in the Bible. But what I know is that as we call ourselves people of faith or Christian people, right? We should also follow God's purposes for marriage, for mutual spiritual growth, for purity, for example.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's it. But as we said, it's not explicitly mentioned.
I feel like one person, I know the one bread or my pen cry. He didn't
Solomon.
suffer it like no Adam.
Ah, okay.
Like no
to him like this.
talking stage. Just like, no. Can I have your number? Just like, even how to even get the lady's number is even an issue. How much more taking that? Long time to talk to the person. Getting he didn't need any betweener whatsoever.
Okay.
He didn't need anything. He just sleep.
Okay.
And
all of
in
a
the next
sudden,
minute,
But God was the betweener. God was the betweener. God had to,
So he just slept. He made him to sleep and then took his rib and then made the woman for her. And he didn't even making a girl, a woman, like a full grown up who is actually ready for marriage. And so one man, I feel that he didn't really suffer when it comes to marriage. And so his marriage should have actually been a template. Maybe if we had, that would be a blueprint for we Christians, because Jesus, when he came, he didn't marry. And so it is that is
Paul also, he didn't marry.
No, I mean I'm talking from like the first Adam and the second Adam is Adam. So being Adam and Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, but and so the person who actually lived a married life was Adam. And then he too didn't suffer. So now it's making we as grandchildren who are guys to actually suffer because now you need to get the lady's number,
That's
even to give you the number and
It's a big deal, okay. It's a
and
struggle.
then how many free nights calls you would have to be doing, how many gifts you need to be buying to the person to convince the person. I mean, there's a lot.
But wait. If you love,
Why do you
That's
always
a
have a
wrong
problem
word.
with it? Why
Convince. You don't have to convince someone.
No. But if you say you're in love with this
You-
person,
you
you need
need
to
to
convince
show
the
it,
person.
like
That's the
your
proof.
actions-
So the
that's
convincing is you
convincing
proving to
someone.
the person that you love her. So maybe the convince is maybe as how you may say it, but convince me that you love me. Prove to me that you love me.
Okay. Let me change the word to proof. Are you okay now?
Yeah, that's fine.
But then,
I mean, but still, like
continue.
you ladies don't just wake up and accept a guy. You guys, like you ladies, are like always. I mean,
Want proof.
It
like
depends.
proof, like you are have that conviction in your mind that okay, this guy because of this and that, because of this thing he's doing, like I've seen that. I mean, he loves me or something, and so I'm convinced that he's the right person.
Yeah, sure.
That's why I kept using like convinced, because you guys don't just accept us. We work on it, and then you are
No.
convinced.
The reason is, okay, some guys play too much, right?
Okay, go
So
go
your
deeper
trust
into that.
needs to be earned.
Go deeper into that, please.
Sorry?
Go deeper.
They play
into
too
that.
much. They pretend as if they love you, but they
Ah,
don't.
so I
Right?
talk.
But that's
from
another
experience.
topic, you know?
Of course, I'm sure it's my experience.
Like no, like the way, like
Yeah.
I was just looking furious when you say like
But that's
the
another
passion and
topic
everything.
for another day.
Okay.
Wow, I'm waiting.
You are
it
gonna
is.
tell us next time.
Next time.
Yes.
Next time. Okay, when you come on board again. Okay. But your idea actually led or it evoked another question in my
Okay.
mind. So you said Adam, he got Eve, she
Oh,
was
very,
built out
very,
of
very
his
easy.
rib, right?
So
So easy. So it was God who decided, okay, so Eve is an appropriate wife for Adam. And nowadays, for example, on TV, you see prophets and they say, this is your wife, this is your husband, your divine husband sent from God. Do you really think God chooses one particular partner for you?
But I think after God chose Eve for Adam, I think since from that time God is not going to choose any partner for you.
Okay.
You make the choice yourself, but you need to pray about it and be guided as to who you are choosing. So that's why this thing I've forgotten the name. Discernment is very necessary in this case. You need to be able to discern to know who you are choosing. But God will not tell you that hey, pick this person. If it happens to
You
happen
think
that
so?
yeah, of course, maybe per the signs or what the person is
But I
showing, the person
personally-
convinces that you are convinced that this
I
person
think he
would-
does, or he can do that.
Like,
Because why should I choose for
you
myself?
can show your husband
The
or
heart,
your wife.
as we said, the heart is deceitful above all. Why should I choose for myself? I don't even know the person, but God knows everyone. He knows their hearts, their minds, and everything. So if God says this is the person who fits you, why should I?
So how is
Choose it.
God going to tell you that this is the
The
person?
same way that He would tell you, go to this place, do this job. When you pray, God speaks. So you need to learn to listen to God and hear His voice. And He will tell you who the person is. That's what I think.
But do you know something? Most
I
often we say this, but you would see a lady would see a guy that meets that qualities and let's say spiritual this and that, financially good, and he thinks that's what God has appointed, for that guy to be her guy.
Thinks or she
But
knows.
once the guy meets the criteria, you ladies think it's a gift from God. Normally, you vibe with the person. The guy
But
is
then that's wrong.
good. The guy is, spiritual. The guy is intelligent. This is a good catch.
But not every.
I think just because someone is good, maybe they look good or they are spiritually inclined, they are mature, they are wise, and all those things. Just because they're good doesn't mean they're good for you, and that is exactly the point. God knows what is good for you.
So
he knows both of us, and he knows, okay, this is a person that will fit you, that is good for you.
Okay, so
Not just
you
good.
feel
I
within your
think we're
conviction.
still not answering that question. Like, does God show you your partner, or was
Yes,
that
he
not the
does.
question?
He can,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah, for
What do you
me,
think? Okay.
well, he may inspire you to. I wouldn't say he points this person to that take this person, but there are certain, let's say, qualities that you get to know that okay, this person is good for me or this person is not good for me. You pray about
Okay.
it, you get to know that yeah.
So potentially.
But it's not that yeah, if I should say, but not
person,
that he will, hey Vanessa, this guy is good for you, go and pick him, and no, I don't think so.
Okay. Bra Summit, what's
Yeah.
your take on it?
Okay, it's a very complicated, very dicey one, but I feel like God will not, as you both have said, God will not show you, like he will not point out, mention the name of a person, or let's say like maybe Mr. A or Mr. B is the one I've ordained for you. But yes, but
he can.
it happens.
But honestly,
honestly,
God,
let you talk.
see,
Let
It
you talk.
happens.
See.
People dream, people have visions
Yeah,
and
sure,
stuff.
sure.
It happens. But yeah,
Let
no,
you
no,
talk
that's
quickly.
okay. Please, that can you please?
Yeah.
Okay, see, my point is that God will not actually like tell you, let's say Mr. A or Mr. B is the one I've ordained for you. But then let's say like the person meets your like criteria or whatsoever, and you present it to him, God, okay, this is the person I want to marry. For that you can pray. One thing about God is that in as much as he's all powerful, he's given us something called will.
Yeah.
And so that will is what we stand on to make decisions. And so any decision I make, most of the time I am doing it like based on my experiences and then my past, maybe like the things I know and what I've been through, and I based on that to make my decisions. And so that is where my will stands. But then I can present that will to God, that God, this is the woman I want to marry, or this is the person that I am interested in. Show me a sign or something.
okay.
But then as you are sitting there, you not come and tell you that okay, brother A or brother B,
Samuel, this is your wife.
this is the wife. Go and shoot your shot. No,
Yeah.
But
that is what I feel though.
But wait, I think when it comes to that question, there is no right or wrong. Okay, because for example, I had of testimonies where people really testified that
exactly.
they were even in
It can happen.
relationships, and then God told them, no, this is not your husband, this is not your wife, and then they left and then found their husband or wife immediately. So everything is possible, right? Okay, so stay tuned for part 2.